Hello guys, welcome back. Or if you're new to my channel, welcome. And yeah, this channel is mostly about getting insights and how to improve yourself, your mental health, physical health, and yeah, related to career and etc. through my experience and of course others' experience because I love talking about it. So yeah, welcome to this session. And yeah, in this video, I'll be talking about a book called Do What You Are, right? The title is pretty simple. Of course, it's related to psychology a little bit, and of course, also related to personality and how do you blend your personality with your career. It's a pretty wonderful written book by the authors, as you can see. So yeah, without wasting any time, let me quickly move on to one of the favorite quotes from the author. Is the right job enhances your life, make it better, make it brighter, and especially it is the personality and which matters, and it's little fulfilling when you exactly find the most important aspect of your personality resonating with your job. So when your personality and your job are in sync, I think you can do wonders and you will love what you work because it's who you are. And that's how you're mentally and physically probably would be blend with the work. And that's what the author tries to convey here, is to find the personality and find the right match. And let's move on to the quick insights on how exactly to do it. And the author starts, or one of the important things which the author points is about how you interact with the things around you, especially not things, but also how do you interact with people around you? Are you enthusiastic in meeting new people? How well do you interact with things? Do you want everything to be organized? Or, are you open for new changes? Or are you comfortable working in a lawn or something? Or you're more, a person who likes to work in the office with much more, concrete desks, systems, and PCs? Or are you, a person who loves to work alone? So in order to understand, it's really important to first know your personality type. And the author, one of the important things the author says is to get to know who you are, right? In order to get to know who you are, you need to understand your personality. So notice the ways how you interact with small things, how you interact with small objects, how you talk to people, how comfortable are you around people, etc. Every small bit is a cue. And also, to get a little scientific, it's also nice to take online questionnaires. It's an advice from my side. There are beautiful, well-proven scientific surveys in order to understand your personality trait. And maybe in this video, I'll also quickly talk about few key personality traits, and especially with the recent research past decade, it was identified that usually humans tend to have 5 personality traits, and this is called big 5 personality traits. And as you can see in this image, it's openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism, right? These are the big 5 personality traits, and I can give you a quick, brief idea on everything. And as the name suggests, openness is, how willing are you to accept new things, new changes, try out different things? Are you okay if suddenly the interface changes, suddenly a new software tool you're asked to work on or learn, or how open are you with meeting new people, etc. Right? How open are you to change? That's what the whole trait of openness means. It's nice to be open. In fact, especially it depends on the job again, but it's also in general nice to be open to changes because the world is uncertain, especially with the pandemic, a lot of things going on. We never know what's coming for us. So it's nice to have an open mindset about it, at least according to me. Next comes is the trait called conscientiousness. And among this 5, this is probably one of the most important skill, especially from my point of view. And it's also scientifically proven that if we take a lot of successful people down the list, and this is one of the most important traits that every successful people have high in their list and in their personality. Any leader, any CEO would be highly conscientious. What it exactly means is how structured are you? How organized are you? How planned are you? And are you exactly doing what you planned? Are you checking off everything from your to-do list? How do you prioritize things? And this is one of the key factors for leadership and also for managerial roles, because this is what defines your whole team, your whole company, your whole job you're doing. This is the most important trait among the five. At least I feel it's one of the things which should be really high if you want to achieve something great, something beyond normal. This is the one. You need to know when to double check your work. You need to, not run behind perfectionism. That's totally different. Might also end up a little bit of waste of time. But in order to be structured, organized, time management, it's a mix of everything here. So this is one of the most important traits if you want to be successful. Have a check on that and how to improve it. Next comes extroversion. This is how are you with people around you? How social are you? This is not a good or a bad personality traits, but just to understand, are you more comfortable working with a group of people, discussing, brainstorming ideas together, or are you more a person where you want to work alone? You want to work on a task, finish it, and then give it to the manager, and he takes care, discussing that with the team. So it's nice to understand whether socializing people give you energy or drain your energy, right? If you're an introvert person, spending time with people kind of drains your energy. So you will, you're much more better off without them. But if you're an extrovert, you gain energy from being social, right? You get this extra pump of positive vibes when you're around people. You're much more a better person when you're around people. And it's nothing wrong being either one of these. And also recently, there's a concept of being ambivert, where you are great with people around you. At the same time, you love your personal space. You're wonderful. Also, being with yourself. There's a blend of different pros and cons in this one, but it's good to know. And fourth in the picture is the agreeableness. This is, again, a tricky trait, because when you're too agreeable, people take advantage of you. At the same time, when you're not too agreeable, if you're not at all agreeable, people tend to, frame you as being really picky. You're not open to a lot of things. You just sometimes, extreme of being not agreeable is being more narcissistic, of course. Like, you just believe that you are the only right person in the room. That's not good. Being too agreeable is also not good. So really important to find the right balance. And I feel you should also have approximate range. How much of an agreeable person are you? Are you 50-50, or are you more of an agreeable person? Especially if you're more empathetic, if you're a people pleaser, you tend to be more agreeable. It's good to know, so that you can, try to figure out yourself which is the best place for you to be in the future. So one of the traits which we need to focus on, especially when it comes to people skills. And finally, neuroticism. This is also a key aspect, especially for your emotional intelligence. How emotionally stable are you, right? When you have a very high neuroticism, that means you have a very high instability. People can easily trigger you. Even a small thing can easily agitate you, make you anxious, make you, lose your temper. It's really important to have this thing in check. Make sure that your emotional brain is well matured enough to handle anything coming in your way. Make sure that you give enough time so that, you think and then act. And this is one of the important things try to keep in mind. And this is also similar or in line with the book I talked about, Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman, where he talks about, fast thinking and slow thinking, the two systems of the brain, the emotional and the rational part of the brain, and how to have a symbiosis, or how to make sure that both are in sync. It's really nice to have that in check as well. Please go to that and check that video out if I've not seen that. Otherwise, that might not have a lot of context with this, but it's good to know about your brain, about your emotions, and how to handle that. So this is a very rough idea of the personality, and especially if you take few personality trait tests online, or if you take some survey, you'll be getting scores among the big 5 personality traits or other personality traits. So that's a good start about getting to know you first and how you interact with especially the questions are framed in a really well manner, how you interact with people, how you interact with things, how you handle a situation question. Once you know this, the next step is pretty straightforward, is to find the crossover of what's your personality and what are your potential careers. Like, what you're good at, what skills you have, and how you can make money, how to monetize your worth. But make sure that there is a crossover between that list and your personality traits. Like, imagine if you, say, for example, if you are really good human resource or a talent acquisition consultant, then you check whether you have a personality of, a very, good agreeableness. And second of all, you're also much more of an extrovert, because you need to definitely talk to a lot of people, and especially go to a lot of meetings with people. You need to, keep talking to them on a daily basis. So if you have skills in HR, also make sure that you have a good extrovertness, you have a check in your conscientiousness, you are structured, you are not too agreeable, not too less agreeable, but you're in the middle, because you would be always in a position where you need to negotiate your, the salary of an employee or a potential candidate. So you cannot be too agreeable and be like, okay, if you're asking for 100K, yeah, here it is, you're hired. Sorry, you can't do that, right? So make sure you have the negotiation skills, etc., etc. Otherwise, it's hard to sustain, because otherwise, imagine you don't have a personality trait, a certain personality trait, but your job requires to do that. You might not love that, right? Imagine you are an introvert, nothing wrong in being an introverted person, but imagine your job requires you to go to meetings, public speaking, talk to different people, randomly take surveys of a stranger entering the building, then you kind of lose it. And at some point, you'll start not liking it. So make sure that there is an overlap. Even though if it's paying, you should love what you do. And that's what, as my philosophy of an happy life, it's really important to have nice work, especially with your love, especially with your passion about. And this book kind of in line also tells that it should be in line with your personality to find the optimal career path, right? So that's a pretty straightforward. And one of the things he finishes off the book is saying age does not matter. Irrespective of how young are you, how old are you, you can always choose a certain type of career path if you feel that you have a chance, right? Unless you take a step forward, unless you try, you never know how it's going to turn out, right? So if you feel that I'm good at it, and think that you have a shot, you have a personality in that line, and it's going to give you money, go for it and do it, irrespective of what other people might think. Once you achieve in that particular sector, then people who are talking about it might be inspired by what you do, and then literally would ask you, how do you do that? And that's always a great feeling when people sometimes don't believe in you, but you kind of, even if people don't believe, but you still take in charge, you fight with yourself, you just have that discipline, consistency, and achieve it, and turn back and say that people who are not believing you, or if you feel that they're not supporting you, to tell them, I did it. And that's a beautiful feeling, I should say. So if you genuinely have an idea, if you feel that your skills are there to monetize, and if your personality is in line, go for it. That would be a wonderful combination, and you would love what you were doing. So with that, I think we came to the end of the summary on Do What You Are. It's a pretty nice, simple, small, elegant book, which kind of pushes people in the right direction, especially in their career. So yeah, keep in check with the channel for further updates, further videos, and I would love to share more videos down the line, and looking forward to make much more useful videos. Especially I'll slowly blend in my videos related to my career. I work as a data engineer, so I'd love talking about those things as well. It's a pretty booming career path, data science, and the different tools and technologies I use, etc., etc. So love to share that. And yeah, feel free to comment, share, subscribe. Let's engage and make the world a better place. Thanks for your time, and have a wonderful day ahead.